go.
Hello, Nelson. My name is Julia. I represent a Russian channel RTVI, and I would like to ask you about your opinion in a new Texas law since January 1 in this year about open carry gun in Texas. What do you think? And tell us a little bit about yourself and about your opinion about this law.
All right, well, my name is Nelson. I am one of the managers here at Marksman Indoor Range. I'm also the pistol instructor and one of the gunsmiths, so my opinion is going to be a bit biased. I'm very much in favor of the open carry law. It is an easy means of protection. What I like about it most is that it is a licensed carry. You can't just go buy a gun and start walking down the street with it. You have to go take a class, you have to be informed about the law, you have to be knowledgeable about the firearm. So it's not just wild and crazy Old West here. It's actually governed and sanctioned. And like I said, people who have their carry license and are able to open carry have already gone through a rigorous background check. They have taken, as you can see here, they have taken a class. They're instructed about the laws, especially my students in particular. I go over everything with them, how to hold a gun, how to shoot a gun, how to take care of a gun, breaking it down, cleaning it, putting it back together. The way I see it, some of the establishments in this area, even before open carry came into effect January 1st, did allow certain customers patronage to open carry. In their opinion, it was, hey, if some crazy guy's walking into my store and he sees 3 people with guns, he's going to decide he doesn't want to be that crazy anymore and he's going to leave. A lot of people are of the opinion that that's just asking for trouble. I disagree with that, because it would be like saying the burglar wants to go to that house with the ADT sign on it because it's a challenge. Most criminals are cowards. If they see you with a firearm and a means of protecting yourself, they're going to pick somebody else to pick on.
So do you think it's this law it's reduce criminal activity actually?
Absolutely do, yes. I think it will absolutely reduce criminal activity because criminals, like I said, most times they don't want a fight. They don't want a challenge. If they see somebody with a firearm, if they see a store full of people with firearms, they're going to decide not to mess with that store.
Mm-hmm. And after this law, clients in your shop, clients in your range, it becomes more clients?
Has greatly increased our business, especially for the classes. When the law was going into effect, January 1st, in December alone, there was at least a 60% increase in people who wanted to come take the class. And that's not just the carry class, but the fundamentals class. It was immediately, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about guns, please help me.
So why it's increased business actually?
It really
yeah.
is.
And what do you think? I would like to listen your opinion. You know how people from New York, from East Coast, you know their opinion.
Yes.
Compare Texas with New York or maybe different states. What do you think about it?
Hugely different. A lot more reserved, a lot more, lack of a better way of saying it, afraid of them. I get the general opinion that they think that the guns are just going to run down the street and shoot themselves. They rely a little too much on, I would say, law enforcement, simply because police aren't everywhere. They say call the cops. Well, the cops could take 20, 30 minutes to get to you. In the meanwhile, the bad guy's already done what they've got to do, and they've gotten away. If you have a firearm on your side, if you have a means of protection, not even necessarily firearm, taser, mace, something to protect yourself, it's going to be a lot harder for the bad guy to do what they do.
What do you think about that? Because this law, in case of this law, private schools can allow can allow people, students, go inside with guns. I agree with this.
That one I'm a little iffy on in terms of younger people still have a lot going on. The emotions run a little high, tempers flare a little much. I know it sounds a bit hypocritical, but I think younger people should be a little more governed in terms of that. I don't like the thought of guns being in schools unless it's by, for instance, officers or teachers, somebody who already has a mind frame of protection and isn't just going to fly off the handle once emotions start getting into play.
And what do you think about children who, you know, there are many problems in America, in Texas too, children who take guns from parents and go to the school, middle school or high school. So this law, will increase these problems, so...
Really don't think so. One of the strongest tools against something like that is education. As you were saying, kids will take their parents' guns and go someplace. That's because those kids have not been taught yet. I recommend children to know about firearms. I recommend for them to come, for instance, to the range. At this point, a lot of children only know guns from the TV. They only know guns from video games. They have never really held one. They don't.
From movies.
Exactly, from movies, and when it's all action and excitement. I recommend folks will bring their children here at my range to take them out there. They don't even have to shoot the gun, but they go out on the range and they actually see, hear, and feel it, because that's a concussive force. You actually feel it when it shoots. I can't tell you how many times people have brought their kids up here and the kids have been like, oh, wow, guns. Got out on the range and it was, oh.
Yeah, because sometimes kids are considering guns like toys.
Exactly. I said,
Yeah, but
when
it's
they
not
actually experience it, they realize all of a sudden it is not a toy. I have had said parents bring their kids up to the range where the kid's very excited about it, but then suddenly is too scared to even touch it. That's education. If they know what a gun really does and not what Hollywood says it does, they're going to respect it a lot more. A lot of parents here do bring their children to practice shooting because there have been stories of the bad guy comes after the kids parents happen to have guns, and I think this is around this time last year, a 13-year-old protected himself and his sister because he knew about firearms.
So education really helps.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Nelson. There was Nelson, manager from Range, from Houston Range.
Range.
Yeah, Marksman Range. So, спасибо. С вами была Юлия Борисова. Спасибо за внимание.